Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Idahoan Show. I recently measured the hardness of an old leaf spring from my Ford Ranger that I was obliged to replace a few years ago when one of the mounting points broke. It turns out that the Brinell hardness number is right around 500, which is identical to the nominal hardness of the AR500 steel plate that is commonly used to make steel targets. Thus, I cut a short section of scrap leaf spring steel and made a sample target out of it.
Alright, so to start with, let's try shooting this thing with a 22, and then we'll step it up to some more powerful calibers. Well, the 22 did absolutely no damage to our leaf spring target. That, of course, is no surprise. In fact, I would have been quite surprised if the 22 had damaged it. However, I was pleased to note that as long as I shot about the top half of the target, the 22 would reliably knock it over in one hit. And even if I shot it down here, I could get the target to fall with a double or triple tap from the 22. So what that tells me is that at the very least, this leaf spring target design is a viable design for a durable rimfire target. Now let's give this a try with 9mm. Okay, there's a little bit of a breeze coming up, so I've retreated down here to try and keep the wind noise on the camera to a minimum. Anyway, this thing seems pretty impervious to 9mm fire as well, so I think the next thing that we need to try is 44 Magnum. Okay, so I guess I was standing a little bit too close to the camera, and the muzzle blast of the 44 Magnum actually caused it to stop recording, so I'm not sure how much of that test I captured on film. However, if we look at the target, first off, I noticed that the base is a little bowed out here from spalling coming along the plane of the plate and wedging itself between the target plate and this part of the base. So I don't know if you can really see how that's bowed out there, but looks like if I was going to use these for 44 Magnum, my base design might need a little bit of modification or improvement. As far as the target itself, of the 3 shots that I fired, one of them hit up here and didn't really do anything to the plate. And then the other 2, again, I'm not sure how well you can see this on camera, but I'll try to show you as best I can. I've got 2 hits right here, and each of them left a little tiny divot in the center of the impact. And that's really unusual. I can't say as I've ever seen anything quite like that before on normal steel targets. It actually looks very reminiscent of pictures I've seen of the effect of a shape charge on a steel plate or an armor plate, where you've got kind of a larger impact area and then a very small hole in the center of that. I mean, I am shooting hollow point bullets, which have kind of similar geometry to a shaped charge, but they don't have the explosive charge of a shaped charge. So I'm not sure if there's any possibility that somehow on impact, just the flow of the lead inside the bullet is creating a jet of material in the center, kind of like a shaped charge does on a smaller scale. I don't know. This is a really peculiar result, and it's something I've never really seen before. So I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I'd say the plate is definitely resistant to 44 Magnum fire, maybe not totally impervious. And last but not least, let's see what a 223 will do to our leaf spring target. Alright, with the 223, we do have some cratering of the plate, but it's very superficial. Really not unlike superficial cratering of AR-500 plates that I've seen 223 produce occasionally, depending on how hot the ammunition's loaded and how close the shooter is to the target, and possibly on the quality of the plate or the quality control on the heat treatment of the AR-500 steel. These are, as I said, very superficial. They're actually not nearly as deep as the mysterious divots produced by the 44 Magnum. So, I'm not sure what to make of those enigmatic divots from the 44, but I think the general takeaway for me is that junkyard leaf springs seem to hold a lot of promise as an inexpensive alternative to AR-500 plate for making small, general-purpose steel targets. So, in any case, till next time, thank you for watching the Idahoan Show.